This week isn't asking you to do more. It's asking you to feel more clearly without drowning in what you feel, because we are building towards a powerful full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. And Mercury is retrograde in Pisces. So if you have been feeling foggy, emotional, extra sensitive, or simply just unsure of what's yours versus what belongs to the world, you're not alone. There's many of us right now. There's a fine tuning that's happening. This is a week of learning how to stay soft without becoming overwhelmed. So welcome, welcome. As you find me, say hello. Let me know how you're feeling this week as we're getting into it. How are the eclipses affecting you? Hello, Jazz. Great to have you. Julie, welcome, welcome. So great to have all of you. And Jazz, oh, you're feeling sad and angry. There's a lot going on in the heavens, and the anger is palpable. The planet of frustration, anger, irritation, Mars is having a bit of a challenge. Having a conversation with the planet of surprise, eureka, our nervous system. So the anger, a lot of people are feeling that, as well as the sadness. Let's tune into what's the most important message that you need to hear going into this week ahead. So I'm going to invite you to take your hand on your heart, invite a few breaths in, and I'm going to just say hello to all of the energy of those watching, those tuning in later, and just ask one flipped over right away. What's the most important thing you need to know? This beautiful card, the Six of Swords, or Page of Swords, I'm sorry. Interesting how Six of Swords came up in my mind. But the Page of Swords, what she's really encouraging you to do is mind your own business kind of thing, in the sense of what anybody else thinks of you is none of your business. This is a card that says you have a plan, a blueprint for your life that others may not understand fully. But there are inspirations and downloads which can happen this week. If you feel a calling and you're a stirring in your heart that doesn't quite fit in, take a moment to pause, feel into that. Nothing has to be done, but what the eclipse is doing is it is offering revelation. It is revealing. It is showing you where maybe you have been losing yourself in others, whether it's in taking care of them or overgiving or absorbing their feelings and emotions and not realizing it, or a desire to help so much that you can lose yourself in the moment. And there's a lot of chatter and there's a lot of expectations, but this Page of Sword is saying there's a path that you're being called towards. Focus on that path. Don't let the distractions sway you. It's very, very interesting. Yeah, Susan, it's very heavy. Welcome. Heavy, heavy week. Hello, Hannah, from the other side of the world, across the pond. So great to have all of you here, because when we come together like this, I look so forward to our Mondays. Every Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, we gather in community to really say hello and kind of talk through the emotions of the week, what to expect, how we can tune into the cosmos and turn that into more of an uplifting week where we don't feel like the week is happening to us, where we're just simply tossed around like a boat in the ocean or fall into that space a victim. But this is meant to give you a set of tools, practices, information so that you can move forward into the week ahead and make the most of it as somebody who feels deeply, as an empath or sensitive or intuitive. And if that's something that resonates with you, please, please, I invite you, like, subscribe, share this with a friend. As we build our community and we come together, it's just such a joy because we're connecting all across the globe. And when we can meet each other in that heart space, wow, everything shifts and changes. It's very exciting. So it is an honor and a joy to be a part of this with you. And hey, if we haven't met yet, my name's Irena. I'm a spiritual life guide and astrologer, and it is my joy to bring you the sacred practices and techniques that help you tune into the energy all around you and enable you to step into the life you were born to live. So let's look at the overarching energy of this week. In case you missed it, we have a full moon lunar eclipse tomorrow, Tuesday. So Moon Club members will have our sacred practice. Keep your eyes open for the email. And this is a time, and hey, by the way, if anybody else is interested in Moon Club, the information's in the description. You can check it out. But this full moon eclipse, I'm excited. We're going to talk about that a little bit and what to expect, how to utilize that energy. The energy is building, building, building till Tuesday, and then it starts to subside. And as we get towards Thursday into Friday, from Thursday night, and we'll talk about this more too, but pretty much all day Friday, it's a moon void of course. And what does that mean? It means Friday is kind of a day for floating, for retrospection, for journaling, meditating. It's a liminal moment. If you're trying to accomplish something very big on Friday, if you have plans like I'm going to close the contract, set the deal, put in for the job, reassess because Friday, the common verbiage for when the moon is void of course, which just simply means the moon's not having a conversation with any other planet. She's not really working in the larger scheme of things. I'm kind of simplifying right now, but for the purpose of this week as we're looking at it, she's just kind of chilling and floating. And so she says, you need to rest too. I'm not doing work. You shouldn't be doing work. Now, obviously, we might have to go to work. We might have to do our job, but think of it as like an admin day, clean up, wrap up loose ends, routine type things, but avoid trying to make Friday a day where it's like, woo, we're going to like accomplish great things and close the deal. Friday is not the day for that. Mercury is also retrograde, and it's retrograde in Pisces. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. But think of this week as a week of refining. It's not a week to push. It's not a week to try to force things into happening. It's a week to tune in and say, all right, where have I been carrying energy that was never mine to carry? And I don't know about you guys, but as an empath, a big feeler myself, and an intuitive, I know when I see people hurting, loved ones, people I don't even know, I want to reach in right away and help. And my old pattern was, okay, I want to make it better. I want to help people feel better. But what I realized along these 30 years of this path that I've really been dedicating myself to, these sacred practices and studies, is that can rob someone of their own experience. Better that I can be there and hold space for them and to sit with them and support them and see them and validate their feelings and try instead of trying to make it better. How much more helpful that is in the long run. And what I've discovered with this too is, our angels and guides are around us all the time, supporting us and giving us little messages and hints along the way. And there's a beautiful quote that came through from Thich Nhat Hanh that said, the best thing you can do when someone's struggling is to simply be with them, sit with them. And that really resonated in my heart because there is so much suffering and so much pain and heartache in the world and in our communities. So what can we do to help? And this Virgo full moon Virgo eclipse is really saying, okay, the one way of doing it, so the other axis of the Virgo energy is the Pisces. And happy birthday to all our Pisces friends. Pisces gives and gives and gives of themselves, typically, to the point where they kind of overgive and lose themselves. Very empathic, compassionate, beautiful sign. And the Virgo also loves to give, and help and be of service and make a difference. The slight differentiation between those two signs is that the Pisces is in water and is learning, okay, I need to have boundaries in life because if I give of myself so much, I'll lose myself and I'll feel so energetically drained. I won't have anything to go forward with. The Virgo is saying, okay, I want to give, I want to make a difference, but it's an earth energy. And it realizes, okay, the devil's in the details. I need to pay attention to the details. I need to come up with something like a system or a way of interacting that's efficient and effective so I don't lose all my energy. Because if I give everything away, my energy, my time, my resources, I won't be able to be of service any longer. I'll have nothing left to give. So the Virgo's looking for the areas where we might be losing energy. And this eclipse makes me very excited. I love the Virgo moon and all those details that it helps us with, because you might feel called to reflect on, and this Mercury in retrograde in Pisces helps with that, reflect on where have the energetic drains been? Is it the physical clutter in my home? I know for me, I'm looking at that, especially in my office. What's been draining me? Where have I been pulled and scattered in too many different directions? Where are those links that are not so strong? I'm trying to avoid that phrase weak link, but it's essentially what it is. You're being invited to simplify your systems, to create simple practices, structures, routines that support your nervous system and really enable you, again, to stay on the path, just like this beautiful card that was pulled, that Page of Swords. Stay on your path. Don't get distracted, because there are a lot of distractions out there. And that Mercury in Pisces is reminding us right now that our emotions might be louder than logic. So great reflection time, great for paying attention to your dreams. Intuition is stronger than necessarily the clarity, the mental acumen. We might be feeling into things. Boundaries are essential right now. And today, Monday, Mars enters Pisces. So our motivations, our actions, our drive, that's what Mars represents, becomes a little bit more emotional, a little more feeling based. And our motivation becomes more spiritual. This is a week, remember, where forcing things, it's not going to work. It's a week of feeling into it, stepping into the flow, flowing with your heart, and making sure that you're not carrying other people's energy. And Hannah, oh, Shannon, hello. So great to have you. Susan, you said it's the first week or first day of vacation. Yay. Oh, first week. Oh, that was a nice little slip. Wouldn't it be nice to have many weeks of vacation? Hello, TJF baby. Great to have you. And Hannah, you said you feel good with great expectations for what's new to come. Awesome. I'm all chills. And you said it's unbelievable what's happening in the world. It is. It is. And the incredible thing is that each of us can make little differences as we go. And this Virgo full moon eclipse is a reminder of that we don't necessarily have to solve world peace or the big things like organizing our whole home or activating and rallying people in our community to make a positive change. But we start with the little things. Maybe it's noticing a piece of trash on the ground and picking it up and throwing it away in a trash can. Maybe it's looking at your home and saying, oh, I felt overwhelmed, but I'm not going to try to organize everything at once. I'll just organize this drawer or this table. Those little details, the Virgo energy helps us dive into the details so that we can make progress little bit by little bit. That remembering that all of those tiny actions compound, even looking at someone and seeing their heart rather than, and I hope that makes sense, but it's like a heart-to-heart connection. So many of us, it's like that old adage or image of the iceberg. We only see so much of what's going on in a person's life and what's made up. We don't know what's going on underneath the surface. So if they're crabby or they're grumpy or they're hurting, they might act in ways that are not great. And it's not who they are, it's just they're having a really bad day. So if we can create a space of energetic neutrality and see their heart, all of a sudden the energy diffuses. And I want to share a quick little technique that I love to use that has been so effective. And again, I know Mercury's in Pisces, but use your logic, be down to earth and practical when you use some of these sacred practices. Use them in safe spaces first, and and do them repeatably or repeat them so that you see the results are repeatable. And that's what I love to teach my energy alchemists are the spiritual practices and routines that give you consistent results. They may not always be exactly the same, but you're not just like, wow, how did that happen? Like, we need to have practices that are repeatable where we know when I feel this, I can go to this practice and it will help in this situation. And that's my joy, is filling up your toolbox and helping you in the process so that you don't have to always rely on people outside yourself. Community, yes, is helpful. Having a teacher and guide is helpful, yes, but to give you the tools. Okay, so this technique, this is a really fun one. I've used it many times in airports, in lines, in grocery stores, and at the pharmacy. So this goes back many years ago. I had a little one who was sick, and they have a window at our local grocery store where you can walk up rather than go into the store and wait in line and get the prescription. I decided to go to the window because I thought it'll be faster. There was one person at the window, and I thought, all right, I can go to the window, I can get this medicine and get home to my little one who's not feeling well. I go to the window, and I'm standing behind this man, and it's taking some time for the pharmacist to come to the window, or the tech. And the man in front of me is getting very agitated. and I can feel it and I can see it. And next thing you know, he starts banging on the glass of the window and he starts screaming, like, where are you? We're out here. Start paying attention to us. And it was a bit scary because this guy was getting very angry. And I looked around the parking lot and there was a woman behind me at this point, and the parking lot was busy. It wasn't deserted. So I was feeling a bit concerned, but I thought, okay, there's enough people around that I don't think this guy's going to do something too dangerous. So I took a moment to ground, and I took a moment. So the root flush fill, which I share with you guys often. And if you haven't accessed it yet, irenamiller.co/get calm, you can go there and listen to the whole thing. But I did that root flush fill. And when I surrounded myself in the golden light, what happened is I put myself into a space of energetic neutrality where I just simply was able to witness this man's anger in front of me without reacting to it and getting angry as well or afraid. And as I did that, next thing you know, within seconds, he sighed, he took a deep breath, and he turned around to myself and the woman behind me and he said, oh, how long is this going to take? I thought this window would be faster than going inside. I'm hurting so badly. I feel like I'm going to collapse. I just need this medicine. And my heart went out to him. So he was reacting out of that pain and hurt and feeling like he was going to collapse because he needed help. He needed attention. He was trying to get their attention, but it was scary. Now, as soon as he kind of softened and he said that, the window of the pharmacy opened, he got his medicine and he left. And I'm all chills. I mean, that's wild. I've used this in airports where people get angry, tempers flare. You cut the line, you did this. And I'm just witnessing. I ground, I root, I flush, I fill, I put myself in that golden bubble of light. And I'm going into a space of energetic neutrality so that I can shift the environment around me and bring a little bit more peace into that situation. So we can meet on a heart level and say, like the pharmacy example, you're hurting, you're in pain, and I understand. Now, that's not excusing the man's actions or what he did, but it's creating a space for understanding and compassion without me feeling drained or without me, meeting his energy and vibrating at that frequency, if you want to say that. Okay, so that's a little bit of a side story, but practices like that are really, really helpful. Let's break the week down day by day. I love to check out what is the moon doing, because the moon is our best timekeeper, you could say, or way to navigate big emotions, feelings, stress, how to work on a daily basis. And if you're ever wondering about compatibility with someone, one quick little technique, and again, this is really simplifying the process, but one quick technique is figure out where their moon is and, ask them and figure out where your moon is. And once you know that, you can say, oh, all right. So like for myself, my moon is in Cancer. My husband has a water moon as well. So we kind of live on a similar daily kind of pattern and routine. It works really well, both, intuitive, emotional feelers, and it's nice. It creates a harmony. If you have moons that aren't necessarily in harmony, it doesn't mean it can't work. It just means you can understand more about the other person, and that enables you to work more lockstep, step by step. So for example, I have a water moon. Somebody else in my life has a fire moon, and I have to be mindful that I don't put out their fire. I have to be mindful that they're going to express their feelings differently, maybe physically, maybe vocalize it, where I might be kind of crying with my moon in Cancer. And when I know that, I can give them a lot of space and compassion and understanding rather than say, hey, stop acting that way. You need to act this way instead. Again, learning these things about ourselves, that's what I love about the astrology, is that it helps us have more compassion for one another, because it gives us an understanding of how we tick and why we move that way, and maybe why other people in our lives move that way when we learn more about each other. Okay, Monday. I'm going to talk about what's happening with the moon and a little bit of the other planets, but I don't want to give you too much to overwhelm. And by the way, let me know too if there are things you want to hear more about or less about, because this time is for you. All right. So Monday, the moon, for most of us, when we wake up, might have been, interesting makeup. It was interesting how I said that. When we wake up, the moon might be in Leo, unless you're on the West Coast. and it moves quickly into the Virgo energy about 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And that Virgo moon, we're starting to feel into that eclipse even more. You might be looking around and you might be a little bit more annoyed about the things that are out of place. Maybe you want to organize, maybe you've got to clean up before you work. Great day for analyzing, looking at the details, doing the tiny little chores and cleaning that need to be done. Maybe even allowing yourself that ability to say, okay, what needs tending in my world? What needs my attention? What things might I not have been seeing or paying attention to that really need to be organized, or routines that need to be simplified? I am feeling this so big. The other thing about today is that the planet of our drive, our energy, our motivation, our ambition, Mars, and sometimes also the ingrained frustration, moves into Pisces, into that water. So it might be a little steamy today. You might feel emotions shifting quickly, but you also might notice there's not that same urgency to act. You might feel less drive to push, more of a desire to rest, and maybe even bigger, stronger emotional reactions. You just give yourself that space. You do the root flush fill, put yourself into that golden light, and be gentle with yourself and compassionate. And maybe contemplate the question of, where can I respond today instead of react? And we're going to pull a card for this Monday energy. How can you make the most of Monday's energy? 3 of Wands. So it's coming. It's coming. And what do I mean by it and coming? 3 of Wands says that you already made your choice and decision somewhere along the way. And now it's just a matter of waiting for the right moment. Don't rush the decision. Don't rush the action. Wait for the right wave. This beautiful surfer girl, she has all these options of the waves coming in. That could be the job coming in, the opportunity coming in, the prosperity, the abundance. But she's not just leaping at anything. She's waiting for the one that resonates with her heart. So this is not an act fast day. It's a feel into a day. And it's a moment to notice that inspiration can also be driven by intuitive hits. So being in spirit, and that our actions, our drive come from being in spirit, inspiration. Tuesday, the big eclipse. So Virgo full moon lunar eclipse. And this energy is really the heart of the week. The Virgo energy asks you, what is sacred enough to deserve your daily care or your daily attention? And this eclipse may bring up a certain emotional clarity or physical body awareness, where in your health, your routines, you need to be paying more attention to actions that you've been taking that maybe aren't as life enhancing as you thought they were. Or maybe they fit you way back when, but they don't really quite work right now. There might be a revelation and a truth around burnout, where you've been giving so much of yourself that you start to realize, wow, I don't know that people realize how much I've given in this situation. And you start to feel tired and maybe even resentful or bitter about that. Find that edge point before we tip over, because we need loving hearts and compassionate and helpful hearts in this world. Not to the point of losing yourself, though, or burnout or emotional exhaustion. How can we find a balanced, beautiful rhythm? It's also an invitation to release perfectionism, this eclipse. I'm going to invite you to remember that you don't have to fix everything or help everybody feel better, but instead you can hold space and be a witness and validate and honor what they're feeling, to see them. The Virgos are great problem solvers. They help, and this is a full moon in Virgo, that's why I'm talking about Virgo. They help find the solutions to problems. They're awesome. They're so great at that. And we each bring our own, all the zodiac signs each bring our own wonderful superpower to helping solve problems. But many people go to the Virgos for that guidance on, I've got this problem, what do I do? Empaths too. So again, I'm generalizing a little bit just to kind of take things slightly into a place where we can learn more about them. Ultimately, with this full moon lunar eclipse, it's a day of noticing, not solving. And we're going to pull a card for this energy and just ask, what's most important that you need to know about the eclipse? Here's the 6 of Swords. I'm giggling because when I pulled the Page of Swords for the card of the week, I wanted to call it the Six of Swords because she popped right into my mind, this card. Oh, I'm giggling. I love when these things happen. So I'm definitely in the flow of spirit. I'm just taking a deep breath. There's just so much joy and love here for all of you. And may I be the channel to bring it through so you can feel it. So Six of Swords. I see this card and I think of where you go, there you are. We're going towards calmer waters. She's going towards those calmer seas. She's leaving the rough waters behind. But here's the thing. She's bringing all of her baggage, her swords, or her thoughts with her. So where you go, there you are, in the sense of we might feel like, oh, this job is no good. You know, this relationship's no good. This house, this place, this town, whatever it is, fill in the blank. But we may not always take the time to do the deeper, what's called shadow work, and look at ourselves, our patterns, our habits that might be perpetuating certain experiences. I just had a revelation about I had a revelation about one of my own patterns this morning. I was trying to go back and remember it. I've got a lot of patterns that are maybe not so life enhancing or helpful for me on my journey and path. And one of my patterns, and I can feel it because I feel that slowing down, don't push energy, but at the same time, things I need to do, things I need to accomplish, and I want to push. And I'm noticing a pattern, and that pattern is coming up. I notice my immediate reaction, and I think, oh, well, I've done this before and this hasn't helped in the past. So maybe I need to change gears in order to have a better outcome. The Six of Swords is reinforcing that. What patterns, what habits, essentially what thoughts are you carrying that are keeping you stuck in the same habits or routines? Because if there's an aspect of yourself, let's say with jobs, where you feel like, oh, I always have the same kind of boss. I had this problem at the old job. Take a moment to just reflect and see if there's a part of yourself where maybe you say, okay, this is good enough. I'm tired. I'll just go for this. Or it's great compensation, even though my gut tells me something's off, don't do it. Pay attention to those little signs. You don't have to solve the big problem. Just pay attention to the intuitive gut hits. Okay, Wednesday. Wednesday, the moon's still in Virgo. And the planet of love, money, relationships, beauty, harmony is really having a nice conversation with the planet of, I wanted to say inspiration. It's more like downloads and insights and spontaneity and eureka and breakdown for breakthrough. So there might be some understanding that you have, especially after the eclipse, of insights around what's most important and valuable to you in life. And if you're feeling nervous and restless and anxious about things, stop and pause and pay attention. Are you feeling pushed by the current of the world to act fast, make a decision, don't overthink it, don't overanalyze it? And you just say, I have to pray about this. I have to meditate on it. I need to step away. That Wednesday energy is saying you don't need to rush. It's a beautiful day for unexpected support. Pay attention to your friends in high places, as I call them, your angels and your guides. Great day for emotional breakthroughs and for very beautiful, tiny little shifts that feel very freeing. It might be something as simple as you realize, wow, one thing, this is an interesting one that comes up to share with you as an example. I have these beautiful mugs from a friend of mine who's an artist that I love, and I'm always hand washing them. But when I get really busy and I'm in a rush, they pile up. And I realize, wow, you know what? I have to realize that when I'm in rushing days, it's more stressful to see the pile of mugs next to the sink or in the sink than just using a mug that I know I can put in the dishwasher and not worry about it. As much as I love, I don't have one in here. The beauty of my mugs. I had it earlier. I took it out. Okay. A little empathic tip for Wednesday. Try something new with your self-care today. So for me, it was simply saying, okay, I'm going to use a washable mug, like a dishwasher safe mug, that I don't have to worry about it getting harmed going into the dishwasher on those days where I'm rushing, because it's more stress to see the pile up of mugs. Simple, silly. You might say, oh, really? What difference is that going to make? But on my peace of mind, it makes such a difference. So that inner perfectionist in me. Okay, let's pull a card for Wednesday's energy. So as I tune in, I just ask what's most important that you need to know. Look, your friends in high places. the Temperance card. I always think of Archangel Michael when I see this card, or angels in general. There are those angel wings. So your angels are with you. Call on them. Remember that your angels, and really any energy, guide, loved one on the other side, they need to respect your free will. And angels really will. And what that means is they're not going to step in and help unless you ask, or unless you're in great danger and it's not your time to transition. The angels, call on them. I always love to say that little beautiful simple prayer: may God go before me and show me the way. May angels watch and protect me throughout the day. When we do little sing-songy rhymes like that, it really gets embedded within our subconscious, so that when we are in times of trouble, it pops up fast without us having to think for it or go into the files, the archives of our mind, to dig it up. Temperance, moderation. Take things in stride, don't overdo, make sure that things are balanced. We've got the yin and the yang, the sun and the moon, balanced energy of masculine and feminine, divine harmony, divine timing. Call on your angels and look for that harmony in your day-to-day living. Okay, Thursday. Thursday, the moon moves into Libra. And the moon, right before she says, oh, I'm taking a break, has a conversation with the planet of hopefulness, with Jupiter, of expansion, of growth, opportunity, prosperity, happiness, joy, good luck. So, it's kind of one of those things where if it's been feeling heavy, if it's been feeling overwhelming and just so many feelings and feeling so sensitive, that root flush fill, go back to that. That's on the screen, irenamiller.co/get calm. That'll help. But Thursday, what's happening as we go throughout the day is this chance to say, how can I tune into my faith? How can I tune into hope? Where am I placing my faith? Because sometimes we might place our faith under our own strength and power. Like, if I just want it badly enough, if I just push, if I work hard enough, I know I've had, oh, holy cannoli. And this, I feel it in my belly, the frustration and anger. I've had coaches before who've said to me, oh, you just don't want it badly enough. You're not working hard enough or pushing hard enough. Oh my God. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, especially as an empath and a big feeler, but holy cannoli. That's a manipulation tactic, right? So you're just like, I'm going to brush off the back of my neck, where all these energetic cords, where people try to maybe manipulate and come in and control my responses because they want me to do something for them or respond a certain way. Holy cannoli. I'm feeling such a beautiful healing coming through for all of us around those moments where somebody has declared something over you or said something because they wanted you to react a certain way. They wanted you to behave a certain way. They didn't want you to make life difficult for them. Cancel, clear, delete. Where are you placing your faith? Are you placing your faith in a coach? They have all the answers. Or they call it white coat syndrome, like the lawyers, the doctors, the priests, the gurus. Yes, it's important to have experts in our life. They've studied this path. They know a lot. It's great to go for guidance, but it shouldn't discount your own gut inner knowing. So having that void moon is going to allow you to process. It's a drifting space. It's a liminal in-between place for reflection, meditation, and plans may stall, and that's okay. We're not meant to be kind of pushing, especially not on Thursday and Friday. Don't try to chase a resolution. Choose the peaceful path over the productivity and allow things some breathing room. Okay, let's pull a card for Thursday. Holy cannoli. Third chakra, the tummy, solar plexus. I feel really activated. I don't know. Are you feeling that too? Okay, so for Thursday, what's most important you need to know? I giggle because this is such a beautiful card for that day. You don't have to push. You don't have to do all the things. This beautiful girl and woman is working so hard. Look at how she has her chin up. It's like, chin up, chin up. I can do this. I've got it. I can keep pushing. I know it. I know it. And she's got all these wands. She's battle wounded, battle weary. She's been fighting. She's been striving. She's been trying to do it so hard on her own. We're in the energy of Pisces. We're not meant to do it alone. We're not meant to push so hard. I can do it. I can do it. Oh, this is what I was supposed to get to before. Thank you, angels, for bringing me back. This is a dance of co-creation with the divine. If we're trying to push for what we want or what we think's been planted in our heart, or I don't want to bother God, I don't want to bother the angels or whomever you're connecting with, that higher source and power, you take a deep breath, because that's the ego talking, where we're edging God out, as one of my teachers would say. Breathe. And that's why I love that beautiful little prayer in the beginning of the morning. May God go before me and show me the way. May angels watch and protect me throughout the day. Because you might notice that all these projects you've been trying to juggle and carry, sure, you can do them all. Sure, you'll cross the finish line and you are going to be dragging and exhausted. I love to see the triumph of when people cross the finish lines. I saw this one of this 80-year-old woman finishing the Ironman. I don't know if you've seen that. And she's really like, she's struggling. And then her friends and loved ones come to support her right as she's near the end, maybe running with her or helping her cross the finish line. Sometimes we have to put a project down. It doesn't mean we have to forget it completely. Just put it to the side. Allow your friends to walk with you. They don't have to do the work for you, and you don't have to do it all at once. Call on your friends in high places, your angels, your guides. We're meant to work together with spirit in order to, I don't like to use the word manifest because I feel like that's been kind of overused and it's got a different connotation to it, but make a reality of the dreams in our heart. I do believe the dreams have been placed there for a reason. You don't have to try to make them happen all on your own. Call on God. Okay. Friday. Friday, the moon is void all day. Friday would be a great vacation day. Or a day to be like, okay, it's a Friday. We're not going to try to get anything big accomplished. The planet of love, joy, harmony, beauty, your values, good old Venus, is entering into the role. It's like she's entering into the character of Aries, a warrior, the one who is like, I can do this. I'm gonna push. What I'm going to invite you to do with that Venus in Aries is utilize any push energy you might have, especially on the void moon day, to say, okay, wait a second. I'm going to allow this drive to be internal a little bit more, to become even more aware after that eclipse and integrate the shifts where maybe I've been pursuing things that I really don't value anymore, or come to find out it was other people's values that were imprinted upon you. You might notice a feeling of just indecision. You might feel a little bit more sensitive in your relationships or partnerships. Maybe things don't feel like they're clicking yet. Don't, and I hate, wow, I'll use don't. Sometimes I try to avoid some of these hard negatives, but don't rush right into reaction. Just give yourself some time to feel in it. Allow the feelings to come up. And if the emotions are big, especially with that moon in Libra, you might want to talk about it with someone, a trusted confidant. Not just anybody, but a trusted confidant, someone you can trust. Like, I just need to talk this through, or just talk to yourself. A new relationship cycle might be coming up, whether that's with yourself or with someone else. And it's really inviting harmony and beauty into the connection. Again, remember, you don't have to resolve everything today. The moon is void, of course, which just means she's on break, the moon. She's saying, don't overdo it. Rest, reflect, meditate. Clarity is going to come later. And notice where you're ready to choose authenticity instead of automatic accommodation. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So we are going to just pull a card and ask, how can you make the most of Friday's energy? Judgment. Great breakthrough day. Great breakthrough day. And it's something bigger than us. It is a moment. I pause before I say this word, because I don't know if it has the right energetic frequency to it. So the word I was going to use is fated, but sometimes I feel like that is a heavy loaded word that kind of whacks. And it's not so much about fated, and I'm looking at the energy of that word and how it hits. This is more about the understanding that what we are doing, we all have a soul calling, and there's some kind of calling that happens and occurs on Friday that if you can slow down enough, you'll hear it. You'll be drawn to it. I love that song, The Rainbow Connection. Kermit is singing and he's like, some people have heard it. Like, have you heard that sweet song, Calling the Sailors? The voice might be one and the same. So hopefully it's not the sirens, calling us off into the rocks. But I'm being a little cheeky here. But there's a calling. There's a message that comes through from the divine that says, hey, psst, wake up. It's time. Are you ready to rise? Are you ready to be more fully yourself and shed and leave behind what hasn't been in your highest and best interest? Really, really cool. And Susan, that's your first day of a fun weekend with a dear friend. Oh, so cool. What great way to utilize that energy. And Turple Nurple, hello. So great to have you here with us. Saturday, the moon is in Scorpio. Oh, I love a good Scorpio moon. Now, the thing about tracking the moon and where the moon is, what zodiac sign it's in, and let me just back up for a moment for all those who are kind of new to this. The moon changes zodiac signs about every 2.5 days, which means the planet, I say, right, moon is a satellite, not a planet, but in astrology, we kind of just, planetara means shining light. So the moon is a shining light, the sun's a shining light. So sometimes in quick astrology speak, we kind of lump it all in and we say planet, right? So the moon represents emotions and feelings. And the zodiac signs are kind of like the character we play, like Professor Plum in the study with the, wrench. So the moon, she puts on, or she experiences these different zodiac signs personalities. And so when the moon kind of puts on the Scorpio energy, she can be very intense and focused, and she can go very deep, and she craves intimacy, and she craves safety, and maybe stepping away from the world and retreating a little bit and doing some of the deeper healing work, or just simply when the moon is in Scorpio, I get very compulsive and fixated on things. And it's great. If I have to get something done that I would really need to focus and have attention for, I'll kind of align it maybe with Scorpio moon. I just have to remember and that it needs to be the thing that helps move the needle forward. Because sometimes it might be something like cleaning out a vacuum cleaner or cleaning like the little like crevices that doesn't make much of a difference. So with that being said, just utilize the energy of where the moon is to make the most of the moment, and realize that if you wanted to have a light, skippy, fun day on, Saturday, it might feel a little heavier. And so like Susan, one of the great things is, let's say you're getting together with a friend. This might be a chance to have really beautiful, deep healing conversations with that friend. It's a partner or a confidant that you can really trust, and it's a great bonding experience. So it might flavor it a little bit differently. Just something to take note of. And like for all of us, what sign is the moon in? How are we feeling? But it's a deeply intuitive day. The veil is thin, so intuitive hits are really coming through. You might feel psychic impressions, emotional truths risings, dreams speaking a little bit more loudly. Journal, rest, create. If you are with friends, take a moment to listen before acting, and know that it's a great day for bonding. Beautiful, deep, deep friendships. When you become friends with a Scorpio, it's a bond that lasts beyond lifetimes. Okay, so how to make the most of Saturday's energy. Woo, and this guy's jumping out. Oh, Temperance, the angels came out again. Okay, so everything in moderation. So if you find yourself going down the rabbit hole a little bit too much, pause, breathe, and allow yourself the time to just make sure that everything's in balanced action. So if you are having the deep conversations, also make time for something lighthearted and fun. And, I was just thinking, what would be lighthearted and fun for the Scorpio energy? And, I think just simply being with each other, and maybe even just if there's a body of water you can go and sit and just look at, and it's kind of like you're not even having conversation, you're just together, and there's a conversation happening on a deeper level. And Susan, you said, oh yes, wonderful. Okay, so Sunday moon still in Scorpio, the planet of relationships, Venus, harmony, love, our values, our money. And here, just as a side step, the cool thing about astrology is that it's not an exact science or predictory type of tool. Predictory is the word, but it's more about a forecast. Like, what's the energy coming up? Like, I know today where I live, they said winter weather advisory. It's going to snow overnight and ice. And and you're going to wake up to like a winter wonderland. There was no snow and ice when I woke up, but it's snowy now. So it was off by a few hours. And these things, it's an art, and it's a bit of a science astrology. It is a science astrology and an art, but it's not exact, and it can go in many different directions. It's like having a piece of sheet music in front of you and saying, I'm smiling because I love watching the musicians who might take a classical piece of music and adapt it and make it their own. I think John Baptiste does this, and it's really fun to watch, where he might take something like the Pachelbel canon and play it in a style of like jazz or something else. What we're looking at with the astrology is we're saying, okay, all right, Sunday, the planet of love, relationships, values, money, harmony, beauty, right? So which way are we going to lean into it? Are we going to do the relationship side? Are we going to do the money side? Are we going to do love? Are we going to do beauty? Well, you get to kind of feel into that. And again, you can look at your chart more specifically to see how it impacts you individually and personally. And that's something I do for people. But you're kind of feeling into it right now. Some people, it might be about money. Some people, it might be about relationships. Just so you know, you always have options. So that planet is having a conversation with the one of responsibility and structure and tradition, and you must do it like this. The timekeeper, good old Saturn. So what might that mean for you? Well, it might mean that there's some emotional truth within you that needs grounding, that some feeling you had or a relationship, you're like, okay, I need to get practical and pragmatic about this. I need to really maybe set some structures or rules around how I show up in a relationship, or how I engage with my money, or how I create beauty and harmony in my home, and not use my pretty mugs on busy days because that creates stress and disorder. Feel into it. It's going to be different for each of us. And know that what might have felt dreamy, meaning Friday, when I say yesterday, or Saturday even, it might feel a little bit more real on Sunday. And this is where boundaries form, where you start to realize, wow, it would be great to do this, but realistically, this is what I have. This is the time I have. This is the energy I have. This is how it fits into my big picture and vision. Because as an empath, it's so easy to want to say yes to everything. Like, yes, I can volunteer for that. Yes, I can help that. Yes, I want to show up for you. Yes, I want to do that. And then we start to feel bad. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments if you ever feel this. But we want to help. We want to be of service. We want to make the world a better place. But then we overpromise, and then we try to over deliver, and we either end up burned out or we end up disappointing people because we said yes to so many things. And like that beautiful 9 of Wands where she's standing and she's chin up, we just can't do it all. We want to, and then we're trying to do it on our own. And that's the thing too that I really learned when I studied energy and energy work, energy healing, is that you're not giving your own energy in an energy session. You are a channel for divine energy. Either it's coming through you, so like when I do Reiki, or when I do more quantum healing, it's from source directly to the person. So it's not our energy. We are in co-creation with the divine. Having a physical body gives us an incredible instrument to do deep energy clearings, healings, and all sorts of work with. And that's a conversation for another time when I get into with my energy alchemist. So Sunday, have compassion. Include yourself in what you're doing. Meaning when you say yes to everything, remember that you in this physical body have access to limited resources. Like you need sleep, you need food. And not everyone gets access to your energy because you'll just run out of it. And then, we need you. Okay, so Sunday, how to make the most of Sunday's energy. 6 of Swords. So here she is popping up again. A lot of repeats this week. Watch your thoughts. What are you thinking? Are those thoughts going to help you in the places you're going to go? Like that saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. What if you applied that to thoughts? Think the thoughts you need for the job you want. Think the thoughts you need for the life you want. Think the thoughts for the relationships that you wish to have. That was totally channeled. That was really cool. I needed to hear that. Think the thoughts. What thoughts are going to help you forward? If you have thoughts rattling around in your mind, that inner critic, that inner mean person, who's like, what makes you think you can do that? And blah, 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 blah. And you're not good enough. And everybody else is better than you. And look what they're doing. And that goes back to the Page of Swords. Mind your own business. Don't worry about what other people are doing. If they're jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge, let them jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. Breathe. Breathe. Are you thinking the thoughts that are going to get you to where you want to go? Holy cannoli. I needed to hear that. Oh, goodness. I love coming together. Thank you so much for being here, because I learn as well when I'm with you, channeling these messages that are for you, and I benefit from them as well, hearing them. And there is a reminder that's very much coming through. Our sensitivity, our intuitiveness, our empathic abilities, that's not the problem. Learning how to tune into that intuition and maintain strong, energetic, healthy, energetic boundaries, that's the focal point. So that we can be in the world, not of it, that we can see the heart of one another, that we can offer love and compassion. And when crazy things are happening in the world, we know we can make a difference, even if it's just grounding and rooting and flushing the things out of our space and filling in that golden ball of light. How cool is that? How cool would it be just to go around and kind of play? Again, never placing yourself in dangerous situations, but just kind of playing with it. Maybe it's an argument at work. Maybe it's an argument at home. Maybe it's just frustration and irritation with someone is having. You're just like, okay, root, flush, fill. I'm in my golden bubble of light. Okay, neutrality. And yeah, there's a little more nuances to it, and we can play with it. And again, I go deeper with my energy alchemist in that, but that's a great place to begin. So thank you all so much for being here. It is a joy to come together with you each week. If you did want to take this practice farther, if you're being called to go deeper into some of these things, when I talk about the energy alchemist and you're like, what's that about? I'm open the doors for applications right now. And you can go to irenamiller.co/apply. Check it out. There's no commitment. There's no pressure. The application is merely something to figure out, is this a good fit for you? Is there something that I can offer to you, guidance or, referrals that can help you on your journey and path? It is my joy to bring these sacred practices through to you. And thank you for being here. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Hannah. So great to have everybody from all around the world. So much love to you. Remember, trust your vibes, follow your heart, and you make a difference in this world. You really, really do. And thank you for being you. And thank you for bringing love through. And thank you for being here. I just so love you all so very much and honor this time together. Know that I'm thinking of you. Have a great day. Bye, guys.